Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm fixing citrus herb salmon and green beans today, and I'm going to get started on it real quick so I can get this in the quick cooker, sorry about that, and I'll explain a little bit more about what I'm doing and all this so you can see what to fix for dinner, or what are you having for dinner. Share that with me. So we're going to get started. I'm going to get this quick cooker, I should have already had that plugged in, and heat it up. And I've already got a little bit of oil in here. I'm going to turn this to the sear function and start it. So a little bit about our quick cooker. It is a pressure cooker. It's a slow cooker. It's got 10 different, actually 12 functions. You can do rice, beans without soaking. You can just do all kinds of stuff. Hey Jill, it's good to see you. We are, right now it's just kind of heating up, and you'll see when I turn it on and put it on sear, it automatically goes to 20 minutes and it'll start counting down. So I'm going to let that heat for just a few minutes. And what I've done is I've already got my green beans ready, and I just cut them up, cleaned them, and cut them up into little 1-inch pieces. I have some red pepper chopped up and shallot. If you're not familiar with shallots, that is kind of a cross between onions and garlic. So you can see there, it comes in a little purple like ball about this size, usually sold near where the garlic is. So we're going to go ahead and dump all of this into that oil. So now it's kind of like a skillet. So it is just kind of sauteing. It will be here in a few minutes. This, by the way, is our new fish spatula. So one of the great things about our newest cookware that came out last season, oh my gosh, I'm a big fan of it, is you can use metal utensils in it now and put them in the dishwasher, and the handles come off. So I'll show a different recipe for that in a few days. There's one that I absolutely love in the new season's best, called egg roll in a bowl, and oh, so good, so fast. So let me go and grab one of my favorite tools that I can't cook without, and I'm sure a lot of you too, is my mixing scraper. There's always lots of different scrapers and stuff we have. So I'm just going to saute that. Now what you're going to want to do is look for the smell-o-vision button in Facebook. Wouldn't that be nice to have that? Because this is just going to smell so good. So while that is sauteing, that's just going to saute, 3 or 4 minutes. I've already got my salmon, salt and pepper, my salmon fillets. And I'm doing extra because my husband likes it chilled in the refrigerator later just for snacks with a cucumber dill dip that I'll make for him. So what we're going to do next is I've already got about a tablespoon and a half of butter. This is our little mini skinny spatula scraper. So I've got some softened butter. We are going to, can you hear? It's sizzling, popping. Okay, and I'm going to use my zesting tool. And what zest is just the collared part of it. I'm going to show you real quick here. You can see the zest there, and where I just skimmed the top of the fruit. That adds so much flavor. It's just a world of difference. So anytime you're doing anything with oranges, limes, or lemons, be sure to zest it because it adds so much flavor. So I'm collecting all that zest. I'm just going to dump it right into the batter. And along with that, we're going to add a little bit of fresh thyme that I picked out of my garden. You can also use dry thyme if you want, but I like the fresh one. I can use it. And woo, let me do a little quick stir here. Get that going. Kind of just get that cooked down just a little. And we're going to also put it in with the salmon later. So I'm about through with all this zest. This adds so much flavor. So with the thyme, I'm just going to take a sprig and just push down off of the stem. So all that good thyme leaves go in there, and all I have left is a skinny stem. So got a few more there that I missed. And what's going to happen happen with this thyme and citrus batter is when all this is done and ready to eat, when the salmon comes out, we're just going to put that butter with the orange zest and the thyme over top of it. So much flavor. So that's ready. The prep bowls, I love these. They come 6 in a set for the 1 cup. They also come 2 in a set for the 2 cup and the 3 cup. So, okay, we are just about ready to transfer this. Now, I want to tell you a little bit more about the quick cooker. I love this thing. When you are ready to use it, if you've ever used a pressure cooker before, this is so much safer and better than regular pressure cooker, the old-fashioned kind. I can remember my mom always being so afraid. But a couple important things. First, you want to make sure the gasket is seated right. That gasket comes right out, real easy to pop out, throw in the dishwasher. You do want to wash it between cooking, because I make desserts in this. I have made flan, I've made cheesecakes, cakes, and you don't want it to smell like salmon and onions or shallots. So you just put that back in there, so you want to make sure that is in there correctly, and it just pops in and all the way around. You want to make sure that this little red button is down. That is the pressure button. That will come up. Hey, Mary. Hey, Mona, how are you? And then also you want to be sure that this little button, this is where the steam comes out, and it actually pops out. It's magnetic. It pops out for cleaning, but there is a little icon there with the steam, and you want to make sure it is flush and in that position. And then you also want to make sure that this button, because look, when I press it, it pushes that up. That is what releases the steam, but you want to make sure that's flush. So gasket, flush, in, and facing down, and that down. So that's important. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and it's going to go immediately to keep warm. But I want to put those green beans. Let me get, another thing I couldn't do without in my kitchen is my silicone oven mitts. Love these. Now there's some extra utensils you can get if you want with the quick cooker, and one of them is the ceramic pot, also known as the pot in a pot. So you get that and this neat little handle, so you'll see when I put it in there. So we're going to transfer the green beans to this, and then we're going to put the salmon down there in the bottom with some fresh orange juice and the thyme. Also, you can get a springform pan. So this is what I made my cheesecakes and my flan in. So good. And then we also have the silicone lid, which I'm going to put on the green beans here in just a few minutes. So this thing does get hot, of course. So let's just pull that out. This is your inner cooking pot. And we're just going to, find that smell-o-vision button yet? It smells so good. Okay. Alrighty. So, got all that out of there. So all we're going to do next is we're going to put that little silicone lid on top of the green beans. I am going to set the green beans into the little handle so it's easier to lower into my pot. And I guess I need to, our knives, of course, like the cookware, lifetime warranty, love this. This is the utility knife. I am going to, they've recently restyled them in the past couple years. They are made to stay sharper longer, and I would put these up against anything. Woolstoff, all those, different kind of knives. So I'm just using my juicer to get all the juice out of here. Now, of course, we have the citrus press. I could cut these oranges in quarters, but that's more for limes and lemons. It's a little smaller. So I pretty much got all the juice out of that. And then we're just going to do the other half. And this is just going to add so much flavor to this salmon as it's cooking. So what I'm going to do is just pour that juice. So it just pours right out. I got it right at about 1/4 of a cup, but it's just the juice of one orange. And then we're just going to put that salmon back in here. And it goes on the bottom. These are huge pieces of salmon. I could have just gotten by with 2, but like I said, John wants to have it to snack on later. So there he goes. Okay, and next, the little stand that comes with all these utensils, these accessories. So we're just going to put that on top of the salmon. It sits right on there. I'm going to lift this up and put it on top of that. And then all I have left to do is to put my lid on. So again, red thing down, flush, lined up, gasket in place. You hear that little noise? Sounds like R2-D2. And then I'm going to turn my little knob to, let me look at the directions. I have made this a lot, but I want to be sure, to fish and seafood. There we go. 3 minutes, that's all that takes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start. Now, what it's doing here, this little thing just going in circles. That's going to take probably 8 to 10 minutes to come to pressure. So that will just keep going around. Eventually, this little red button will pop up and everything will be under pressure. So as long as that red button's up and that little thing will switch to the minutes, 3 minutes, and then it will count down. And then once it's done, it automatically goes into the warming function. So you don't have to be right there to watch it all the time. It is kind of a little low sound, so it's hard to hear. But when it goes all the way down to 0, then it starts counting back up again. So you know how long it's been. So when that's done, at the end of the 3 minutes, when that does pop up, if I do hear it, then we're going to press the steam release button to manually release the pressure, which is that button I showed you, makes that pop up. Some recipes tell you to manually release the pressure immediately. Some will tell you to wait about 10 minutes and let it naturally release, and that's just where the pressure is going out, you know, on its own. And then at the end, you can manually release it. But the thing of it is, whenever it's released and that little red button is back down, then you know it's good to go and you want to turn it off. So remember, you always have to hit the start button to whatever function you're using. There, like I said, there is a slow cooker, there's searing, you saw that. You can steam. Imagine doing crab legs or lobster in that. Corn. You can proof bread. I've made probably about 5 loaves of bread in this. Chicken, poultry, beef, pork, of course the fish and seafood, soup and stock. The other day I did, I just took a handful of spaghetti and threw it in there. And then about half a cup of marinara sauce that I had in the refrigerator, and about a half a cup of water. You want at least a cup of liquid in here when you're using the pressure function. And I just put it in there, set it for 12 minutes, let it do its thing. Altogether from start to finish it was 19 minutes. And then I manually released it and turned it out, and that spaghetti was so good. That marinara sauce had infused into the spaghetti. So that's one of the things that I've noticed the most about this. It just, the flavors are just more intense in whatever you're cooking. I could probably do this on the stove in about the same amount of time. It just wouldn't have all those layers of flavors is what you're doing here. So this is going to take a few more minutes. Remember, oh, I forgot to put the thyme in. Oh well, it's okay. I got thyme in the butter. I'll just add the rest of that to the butter and we'll put that in. So I'm not a perfect chef. I'm a pampered chef, so remember that. So when that comes out, all will be ready to serve. Everything's be ready to go. So come on over if you want something to eat. I'd love to have you here. So if you have any questions, just let me know. See you later.